Hello and welcome! Today we're making a super cute pet rock with some embroidery details. And we will only need a few basic things for this project. One main color of felt and a color for the leaf if you want to use it. Of course some thread, scissors and pins and needles and some stuffing. A small piece of cardboard to reinforce the bottom. And then some kind of eyes. I will be using plastic safety eyes, but you could also use felt, and if you're making it with kids you can use googly eyes. Another option is to use smaller plastic eyes with a little bit of white around it. So let's begin. Before stitching, lay out the pieces so they're mirrored. And if you're making a smaller rock, you don't have to worry about it because it's symmetrical. So let's start by stitching the darts. When finished, smooth out the seams with your fingers. Before working on the face, decide which side of the rock will be the front. I'm going to do mine on the right. Let's start with the eyes. I'm using safety eyes, but again, any type of the eye will work here. And for more eye options, check out my video on a couple of alternatives for the eyes. I like to use a bit of stuffing to catch the posts so they don't go flying. And now let's add some face details. I'm going to start with the brows. Next, I'm going to work on the leaf, but this is totally optional and feel free to skip this step. And now I'm going to decorate my rock with few embroidery stitches and some textures. And I will start with French knots. And if you are unfamiliar with them, check out my video on French knots. And now I'm going to add some different texture using running stitch with a different color thread. And of course, these decorations are totally optional. You can leave your rock nice and smooth and texture free. I want to continue the same texture on the other side, so I'm checking the direction of the stitches. And now that we're done with all the textures, let's put the two sides together. Make sure to tuck the leaf in if you have it. Next, turn it right side out and smooth out the seams with your fingers. And now he's ready to be filled with stuffing. And I like to recycle my fabric scraps, so I cut them up real tiny pieces and mix it in with the actual stuffing. But this doesn't always work. For instance, if your felt is thin or see-through, the pieces might show. So test it out first and see if it works for your felt. I'm using two pieces for the bottom to make it sturdier and help it from bulging out. It also gives us a pocket for that piece of cardboard that we're going to insert a little later, and this will reinforce the bottom even more. At this point, I like to really pack the stuffing into the top parts of the rock so he doesn't lose his shape and stays nice and firm. And do not put too much stuffing in so he doesn't turn into a ball. And this is where our piece of cardboard comes in. Use the bottom pattern piece and cut it just a little smaller and insert it into the pocket. It's going to help to prevent the bottom from bulging out. And at this point you can add some weight so he feels more like a rock. I'm skipping this step this time, but if you want to learn more, check out my video about adding weight to your toys. And we're done! I hope you had fun making this little guy. Feel free to experiment with different textures, stitches, and decorations to make your rock unique. And you can even make a tiny ant, which I will cover in my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.